Alright, so a lot of people are asking me about what I use to make my music, what I use live, what I record with. Um, I'm a pretty simple guitar player, pretty simple vocalist. I'm a classic rock, blues based. Give me Eric Clapton, the Allman Brothers. I'm that guy. Um, Guitar wise, my main weapon is this white Strat. It's actually like a mid 90s model um, Fender Squire body and neck. I mean, the neck is awesome. Like, this is a $150 guitar that I bought probably in 97. You know, I was probably 14, 15 years old. I bought this. And it was my second electric guitar that I ever owned. Um, and I gave it away twice. I gave it to my brother Chris once, you know, and it was just, he played it for a little bit and then it kind of just sat around, you know. Chris was partying, having a good time, you know, but it was sitting around and I asked him if I could have it back and I took it back. And then my buddy Chad Reba, that produces all my music, he was moving away to Cincinnati and he was using it to play slide in our Coltrane band. Before we were called Coltrane, we were Nothing Fancy band, and he was playing slide on this thing. That's all he was using it for, and I gave it to him as like a going away gift. And then he gave it back to me. I don't remember the circumstance or situation why we agreed to give it back to me, but he gave it back to me, and we rebuilt it. Still the original neck on it, but we replaced all the guts out of it. This is my main weapon. This is Joe Carr's sound. I got a JB Junior in the neck. I got a classic stack, I believe it is. They're all Seymour Duncan pickups. I love Seymour Duncan, you know, more than any pickup. But I'm pretty sure the mid is a classic stack, and we got a JB humbucker in the bridge, and all that work was done by Tim Brown over at CA House Music in St. Clairsville, Ohio. He's my guitar tech. You know, he does all my work. We haven't changed the tuners on it yet, but that's the next step. It still has stock tuners, which I should have changed a long time ago. But that's the next thing we're going to do. This guitar, you see all the names on it. I mean, these are people that I've lost in my life that, with this guitar meaning the world to me, these people meant the world to me too. You know, I got my wife's cousin Christy, you know, a very special person to me. One of my good friends Chung, my good friend DJ, my brother Joe, on there. Yeah, I have a brother with the same name as me. But yeah, people I've lost, and I just thought it was cool. You know, I got my American flag. I'm a real patriotic guy. You know, so I got my American flag on this. This guitar is named Gloria. I name all my guitars. This is Gloria, you know, named after Old Glory. That's why it's called Gloria, and they're all female names. This is a sister guitar I made to that same guitar. This is a 16 model Squire Strat, and I bought this just to make a sister guitar to that guitar. I didn't buy this to actually play it, but I do use it on a few songs when I play live. I mean, it's got the same pickup setup. You know, it's got a JB humbucker. It's got a stack in the middle, and then I believe, what did he say this was? This is a vintage rails Seymour Duncan in the neck. And it's got a blender switch too. You can blend pickups together and get different tones and sounds. And so yeah, there's a sister guitar to my white Strat. Then I got my Mitchell. It's kind of a Les Paul style guitar. It's got a Seymour Duncan jazz humbucker and a Seymour Duncan JB in the bridge. You know, bridges are pretty much all gonna have them JBs because that's my tone. This was a gift from my buddy Chad, and this is it's a Mitchell, which is Guitar Center exclusive. You know, it's pretty much their brand. But yeah, this is a nice guitar. Use it on a couple tunes, get a couple tunes that them tunes get, I have a song coming out called Runaway, and this is the tone. We got that tone from this guitar. So if you don't use this guitar on that song, that's alright. That's why you see guitar players have 15 guitars when they play on stage. Them tones are special. This is a Chapman guitar I just recently acquired from my buddy Chad. You'll hear Chad's name a lot. We do a lot of work together and we're really good friends. But this is the same pickup setup, just different, they're white. But this is a Chapman guitar made from a guy I watch on YouTube. He designs these. You got the JB Jazz and you got the JB humbucker in the bridge. So I'm anxious to hear what this thing sounds like, really out live and recording and stuff. And then I got my pink Mitchell. I bought a pink Mitchell just because I'm a big 80s hair band fan, and I don't really use this for my stuff yet, but I do have a Vivian Campbell humbucker in it, which is made by DiMarzio. Vivian's the guitar player for Def Leppard. So, this is pretty much just set up for me to have fun with, and maybe it'll come in use with some of my music. But we'll see what happens with that. I got old faithful here. This is a 99 Mexican Telecaster. I bought it in 2000 when I started dating my wife. I was supposed to go on a senior trip with my buddies, and I had like $500 saved up, and I ended up spending that money. I told him I wasn't going. I spent that money on this guitar and just stayed home with my woman. But this guitar stays in. You can throw this guitar off a bridge and it'll stay in tune. It's got a classic stack pickup in it, and then it's got a power bridge which simulates an acoustic guitar. So you flip it down there, you get your acoustic guitar sound. That's what the battery's for. It's an active pickup, so it runs off the 9-volt battery. Flick it up there, you get that. There's no neck pickup, which is pretty much, it's kind of like an Esquire in a way, but an Esquire just has a bridge pickup. But we got the power bridge on there, which is really cool. I kind of stole the no neck pickup off of Keith Urban and Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. They kind of ran their tellies like that. And actually got a cigarette butt from like 20 years ago. Probably 15 years ago, huh? And then I glued in there because Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top had a cigarette butt glued in his neck pickup position, which I thought was cool when I did the same thing. And literally it was a cigarette butt I found off the ground. It was probably germ infested from somebody, I don't know. But then you can't go wrong with old Les Paul. I'm not a super huge Les Paul fan, but you can get some cool tones with these. I use it for like drop D stuff. If I want to play my Cowboy Troy or my Godsmack style stuff or anything drop D. This thing's pretty much set up for it. It's stock. It's all stock. There's nothing different about this guitar. I have tossed around the idea of changing the bridge pickup because on Gibsons all I use is the bridge. I don't really use the neck. Slash from Guns N' Roses, he's a big neck fan on his Les Pauls. He plays his solos, his rhythms. He'll tear it up on the neck tones. That's his tone. But for me, I'm more of a Neil Young guy, so the bridge is all me. And then my wife got me this for Christmas last year. I was a big AC/DC fan growing up, so I had a 2008 Gibson SG Standard, and I hated it. And I waited so long to get that guitar, and I was miserable with it. But the thing just wouldn't stay in tune, and I had it set up by some of the best setup guys in Nashville, some of the best techs. And the only guy to really get it to stay in tune, we came home and played a show in Wheeling, and I had it set up by Tim Brown on like the Saturday, the night we played, and it stayed in tune really well. And he was the only guy to get that SG to make me like it. And I ended up selling it and bought a motorcycle. but yeah, I never liked that guitar. But I got this. I had my wife buy me this. I told her, I was like, get me one of these Epiphone SGs. This is a $500 guitar, you know, and you can get it for $350, $400 on sale all day. But I was like, buy me one of them, and I can change out the bridge pickup and have a cool, you know, guitar to use for certain songs. And actually, this Epiphone stays in tune, and I don't have as many problems with it as I did that SG Standard, that Gibson. I mean, this is a way better guitar. And it even has coil tap, so you can split the coils. You can make it a single coil or a humbucker, which is really cool. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, maybe I had a fluke SG that just, but I don't know. That guitar never stayed in tune really well. I had so many problems with it. It got to the point where I ended up using it for all my drop D stuff. That way I was just playing on the top strings. That way I didn't have to worry about soloing and my G strings slipping. I was using a Gretsch guitar for all my other stuff at the time and my Telecaster. But yeah. And then my amp, pretty simple setup. I mean, I have a Black Star Series 1, just a 45 watt, all tube. I got this off my buddy Tim Brown. I was a big Fender amp guy. I was never a Marshall guy. And these amps, you can get the tones of Fenders, Marshalls. I mean, the sounds you get out of these things. The overdrive channel on these are awesome. You know, I always use the Jekyll and Hyde overdrive pedal and a tube screamer, a basic TS9 that no guitar player, or every guitar player, you know, worships as a TS9. And I had a Keeley mod TS9, and you know, that was my go-to, that TS9, and my Jekyll and Hyde pedal for my overdrive, because I ran strictly clean amps. I had a Fender 65 twin reverb and a 65 super reverb, and those were my babies. And you know, through the years, my twin took a crap, and my super reverb actually got stolen. And I never replaced it. I just used the twin for years, but the twin totally started falling apart on me. And I bought this off Tim Brown, and this amp is just awesome. And then my pedal board is simple, you know, but I just got my digital delay. I got a chorus and a phaser I use on select songs, usually cover songs. When I'm playing covers, you know, Knocking on Heaven's Door, any Waylon Jennings song. This pedal is named Waylon because of that. I mean, Waylon ran a phaser on everything, and guys like Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard are real underrated guitar players, especially Merle Haggard. But the Mosaic pedal just kind of simulates a 12-string. Use it on select clean songs. These are just booster pedals to boost my signal that I'm giving this amp. So I'm running my overdrive amp on my overdrive sound on the amp, and this is just a clean boost pretty much. And they're set up, this is a clean boost and these are two separate clean boosts, and they're set up different just to give me what I need for each song. So, and then you got your basic tuner. I mean, that's as simple as I get, or as complex as I get. I stay simple. And that's about it. And recording wise, when I record, I don't use this amp. I use a program on my computer, but it has this exact amp and all these pedals programmed in the computer. So I can just plug into an interface on the computer, and I don't have to hook all this stuff up. I don't have to hook a microphone up. I just put a 1/4-inch jack, you know, in the interface, and I got this amp and all these pedals on my computer. So there you go.